to the upcoming film. Now on to all the scandalous happenings last week in Hollywood. Kristen Cavallari has taken over the hills. Brad and Angie are on yet another mission. American Idol Season 1 finalist Justin Guarini got hitched, as did Jamie Presley. Emmy Rossum is getting a divorce and has a new boo. LC has a new recessionista fashion line at Kohl's. Kate Beckinsale is Esquire's Sexy Swimming Alive. Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel's relationship is on the fritz, and a private memorial was held Sunday for Patrick Swayze. Now back to you, Janae and Connor.
Thanks, Kelsey. From entertainment to the red carpet, Tawny's got the dish on primetime Emmy fashion.
Crikey, I'm Tani. This year at the Emmys, the red carpet was full of glamorous gowns and original style. I am happy to say that there were much more hot styles than not. One of my absolute favourites was Blake Lively wearing a Versace gown flowing to the floor in flaming red. Her long and open neckline was sexy, yet classy enough to don at the Emmys. I definitely give Blake the Best Dressed award. Another favourite of mine was Olivia Wilde wearing a frosty Marquesa gown. The top portion reminded me of figure skating attire, but looked glamorous and meshed well with the bottom. She definitely made a lasting impression on the red carpet this year. Sadly, this year, as always, there were a few gowns that made the not-so-hot list. Winning the title of Worst Dressed was Mila Kunis, donning a maroon gown adorned with lots and lots of tulle. If the amount of tulle wasn't bad enough, the choppy amount scattered about was really the ticket to getting the Worst Dressed award. Following Mila, with not-so-glamorous attire, was Mary Louise Parker, with a single-shoulder mini-dress looking a bit underdressed for the event. She looked as if she was on her way to a cocktail party, not the Emmys. Well, that's it for this year's Best and Worst Dressed at the Emmys. Back to you, Janae and Connor.
Welcome back to Always on the Movie.
Let's find out what DVDs are a must. Take it away, Alex.
In Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, ladies' man Connor Mead, played by the oh-so-sexy Matthew McConaughey, has the reputation of being a player who dumps his girlfriends after they fall in love with him. He has been with hundreds of beautiful, gorgeous women, celebrities, and models. He's a very smooth talker, and the women fall into his arms believing every word he tells them. His brother Paul is played by Breckin Meyer. At his wedding rehearsal dinner, Connor gives a very drunken speech, telling everyone what a mistake Paul's making in marrying his meticulous fiancée, and that he doesn't believe love is real. In this Christmas Carol-esque storyline, the night before the wedding, Connor is visited by 3 of his ex-girlfriend's ghosts, trying to figure out what events in his past turned him into a complete dirtbag. It turns out his gigolo of an Uncle Wayne, played by Michael Douglas, taught him what he needed to know about girls and how to avoid heartache. During his girlfriend's visits, it seems as though Jenny Paratoi, played by Jennifer Garner, was that one woman who truly had a piece of his heart. After almost ruining his brother's wedding, he realizes there is such thing as love. I wasn't expecting the best acting in Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, but it definitely could have been better, although you can't expect much from someone who plays the same role as a womanizer player in every movie he is in. Hey, I still love Matthew McConaughey. Although he wasn't a huge character in the movie, Michael Douglas seemed like he had fun playing his part. I would also like to say this was a very atypical character for him. There were a couple good chuckles throughout the movie, but overall I'd say this movie was a total blow, as I was disappointed with the storyline, the humor, and special effects. Sorry, Matthew. Hey, you still look good. And Jennifer. Hey, you're hot. It's okay. Looks like another C-rated movie, but you know, I get C's all the time, so I'm going to say this is a must-see.
Hey, Brady Bunzer here with another DVD review. This time I will be looking at Year One, a film by Harold Ramis, director of classic hits such as Caddyshack and Groundhog Day. Producing Year One is Judd Apatow, the man behind The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up. Starring in this film is Jack Black as Zed and Michael Cera as O. Both are a couple of incompetent hunters and gatherers that get banished from their village and embark on an adventure of biblical proportions. Along the way, Zed and O discover that the women of their dreams have been enslaved and set out to save them. During the journey, they run into numerous historical and religious figures. These include Cain and Abel, played by David Cross and Paul Rudd, along with Abraham, played by Hank Azaria. After seeing some trailers and previews for this film, I was pretty optimistic about watching the movie. Not surprising, Sarah plays another awkward character, full of sarcastic one-liners throughout the movie. Black doesn't stray too far from his previous roles either, portraying a raunchy and crude slob looking to be a hero. The first 30 or 40 minutes of the film offered some funny moments, most of which can be seen in the trailers. After that, the film just got too ridiculous for me, such as the one scene where Jack Black's character eats a piece of poop. Also, for a comedy, the film was just too stretched out, leaving me sitting there bored at some times. Year One seemed to focus more on telling a story rather than making the audience laugh. If you're looking for quick and witty humor, this is probably not the film for you. However, if you like dry and raunchy humor, then this may be just the movie for you. In my opinion, Year One takes a step back to Year Zero. Save the money you would spend to rent or buy this and put it towards your bar tab instead.
Hi, Eric here, and this week I have reviewed Monsters vs. Aliens. In the battle between good and evil, or more appropriately, bad and ugly, Earth is under attack. Susan Murphy, played by Reese Witherspoon, her life is crushed on her wedding day when she is quite literally crushed by a meteor minutes before she is to be married. She survives, but not without a tiny side effect. She grows to an enormous size. The government takes her back to their secret base where she meets a ragtag team of monsters. There's Bob, voiced by Seth Rogen, the Missing Link, voiced by Will Arnett, and Dr. Cockroach, voiced by Hugh Laurie, and Insectosaurus, who I'm pretty sure is voiced by T-Rex from Jurassic Park. All the monsters are based on past monsters, including Susan. When Earth is attacked, the government has no choice but to use the monsters to fight off the evil alien Galaxar, who is played by Rainn Wilson. Some of the other voices you might recognize are Stephen Colbert, Kiefer Sutherland, Amy Poehler, Renee Zellweger, John Krasinski, and Paul Rudd. This movie is aimed at a much younger audience, but does include some adult humor. While I enjoyed it, I couldn't help to think that there was probably a better way to spend my time. It's a good story by Rob Letterman and Conrad Verdon, who did a great job of directing. If you know your sci-fi monster movies, though, you will be very entertained. There are references to many movies like E.T., Independence Day, and Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, and even a Godfather quote. I would recommend going out and watching some of the classic monster movies first. Recognizing the references was very fun and could very easily be made into a drinking game. My vote is Monsters vs. Aliens is worth seeing if you're bored, and especially if someone else pays for the rental. Back to you, Janae and Connor.
Well, that's all the movie updates we have for you this week.
Stay tuned to Cable 8, Channel 8 for more episodes, here on Always on the Movie.
Renee Zellweger, John Krasinski, and Paul Rudd. This movie is aimed at a much younger audience, but does not include some humor. Wow, you have to start over.
Sachi gown flowing to the floor. I can't believe it. On the red carpet this year. Sadly, as always, I can't do this. I can't.